Hey guys, Gen Z here. I'm with our Muay Thai coach, Coach Jake. He's gonna be my uke today. So we've been working on De La Riva in Nogi. So I wanna go over a few different options. So if I have Jake here in my De La Riva position, right, I've got an angle so that I can see his hip. So I wanna be at a 45 degree. I want my foot to weave in. I've got a nice hook here. This is why I need that angle too. It would be very hard if I was square to get that angle unless I was like Gumby or something. I'm not that flexible. So I want the top of my foot hooked on his thigh. It's easier to do that. My knee's a little more open. My hand is gonna come to his, we'll say ankle, but I'm really gonna say heel. Okay, so I want my pinky touching the mat behind his heel right here. Okay, it's gonna be a stronger grip. My other foot is gonna be right on the hip. This is just like my standard De La Riva. We've got 3 points of contact right now. Coach Jake's gripping me. I can go ahead and grip his wrist. I can grip a cross wrist grip. In gi, of course, we've got the lapel as well. You could grab the neck if he was super low, and we could do some overhead sweeps. But I'm gonna get this cross grip right here, okay? And I always want to be like pulling his posture down. So my standard De La Riva is trying to keep his hips back, his chest and upper body forward. I could do a little bit more of a lawnmower pull if I need to get him broken down. So what we're gonna do is our first option. This is one that I learned from my coach, Jeff. We're gonna do a wrestle up from here. So I'm gonna bring my foot to the knee when I'm ready, okay? As I do that, I'm gonna extend and sit up at the same time. That's my momentum to sit up. I've got to drop this foot down. Otherwise, that's going to be very hard for me to sit up. It's going to be counterintuitive. So I'm going to extend him out and I'm going to sit up. From here, I'm going to pass this grip underneath. There's a similar option like this in the gi for the dump sweep, but we're just going to pass this under here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my hand to the mat as I Z my legs. So I'm switching to a Z around his leg. From here, I can still pull this down to keep his posture broken. I'm not going to the outside of his leg to stand up because otherwise he'll guillotine me, especially if he breaks this grip. He can come around my neck, right? Exactly, right? So we don't want that. So I've got this hold. I'm bringing basically my eye to his hip and I'm using my chest. I want my shoulders in front of my hips. If I lean back, he's gonna just spear me down with his knee. He's gonna just push in, exactly. So we don't want that. So I'm here, we've got this grip. I'm attached, my head is in the pocket of his hip, and now I'm just gonna drive myself up. I can come up into a nice combat base or a standing position, depending, and I can start working my passes. Now, I could very much come up like with a single. Okay, so depending on how my partner is gonna respond, as I'm here, I'm ready, foot comes to the knee, I'm gonna pass, right? Switch my legs, and I can come up and he might keep his balance, right? And now I've got this nice single leg. You could do a lot of different options here, right? I can run the pipe, I can come in for a treetop, right? But the most important thing is when I'm coming up with this pinch, if I have this arm still or not, if I have this trap, this is kind of nice. Can just get into this gable grip underneath, but I need to keep him moving, right? That's how I'm gonna be able to keep him off balance. I don't wanna just stop there, let everything go, and then he can start, right, counter-attacking. So I wanna be able to get that takedown. So that's our wrestle up option. This next option, I learned from Eli Knight. We're just gonna call this like a De La Riva sweep. So we're gonna be dropping the other leg. It looks very similar. So here I could do this with or without a grip. Like I said, if I don't have upper body in control, especially in no-gi, it's a little bit harder maybe to maintain without a sleeve grip. I still have 3 points of contact. 4 points is always ideal. 3 points is still pretty good. When I start getting to 2 or under, that's gonna be bad news for me. So here, there's a lot of timing based off of maybe like I had a grip, right? And he pulls it back in postures. That's a good time to start executing some sweeps, right? Especially like the tripod sweep, as we talk about that in a second. But you can always use it to your advantage, the timing. Once somebody's kind of based, it's a little hard. We're always looking to off balance and work on that timing. So maybe I do have a grip here, right? Maybe I don't. I'm going to still do the same thing. I'm going to bring my foot to the knee and I'm going to extend him out. From here, I'm keeping this block. On either of these, like if I drop it before I'm ready, it's going to be easy for him to just come in, right? So I'm going to go ahead, keep this extended. As I have this block set up, I'm going to come in for a hug. So if I did have this grip, I'd let it go and switch to a hug grip. Okay, so I'm hugging behind his knee. Now, I'm going to drop my left knee on the mat, hand comes on the mat, and foot comes on the mat. This block, I don't want to come down with my knee. It's going to be very hard to kind of hold myself up, so I want to be in a technical stand-up position. I've got this nice deep hug. I'm going to lift myself in my technical stand-up, but at the same time, I'm going to pull this leg back. It's going to add some sauce on the sweep. I can maybe get lucky and just push him forward, but that's going to be hard if he's a good player and he's got good base. So we're here. I'm going to come up and I'm going to pull this leg back. Now I've got a grip, right? 2-on-1 on this leg. I can come up, I can start passing, I can go for leg drags, I could attack the leg, go for leg attacks, whatever I want, but I want to maintain control as I come up for my sweep and then I can start passing, okay? So we're going to call that the Eli Knight De La Riva Sweep. One of my favorites and all-time classics, we're going to grab this far grip over here, is the tripod sweep, in gi or no gi. So like I said earlier too, we really want to focus on this nice heel grip, okay? I've got my hook, everything's nice and sticky and intentional. Tripod sweeps are a great sister option to De La Riva, okay? If I feel like I've got the person moving, like Jake's moving around a little bit, right? And I'm using this for control, right? But maybe I'm like, oh, I don't feel like I can go for those other options. I can switch my foot to the hip. So De La Riva hook comes out, comes to the hip. You'll see hook sweeps behind the knee. I feel like it's really hard if someone has good base to get behind the knee. I feel like I can also hurt my partner. So for a stronger tripod, I'm going to drop my top of my foot behind his ankle, okay? From here, I really want to do a push, a strong push with my foot on the hip and a pull with the heel and the top of my foot. I'm bringing his ankle towards me. Okay, it's all got to happen consecutively, like at the same time. Okay, so we're here. I've got this grip. Even if he pulls this grip away, that's going to give me the momentum to push, pull, and come up. Now I can come in, I can start passing, whatever I'd like. If I have that grip still, it's just kind of a point of attachment, so I feel like it kind of brings me up with him. So we're here, right? I switch. I'm just going to switch this angle. Boom. I've got a push, pull. I've got such a stronger grip with that heel. Push, pull. I can ride up and come right into a knee cut. Okay, from here, if you are going for the knee cut, if you can land with your elbow in between your legs, you're going to be set up for success versus allowing his knee shield to come in. Now I've got to start dealing with that. So if I can come in here, I can just start delivering my hips, coming through, sliding, and going into my side control. So that's a classic tripod. One last option is the sickle sweep. So tripods, I do typically like the far side grip a little bit better. You can do it with both. Sickle, I could keep this far grip. I think I kind of like this grip a little bit better, the cross grip. So play around with it and see what you like, what works best for you. If I'm here trying to go for the tripod, if I'm trying to get this leg, a lot of times when people feel this, they'll kind of step out a bit. Not if he like fully gets like straight, but yep, he just steps out, yep, from that hook. So what I'm going to do now, that's fine, you could step back like you were, yep. I'm going to switch. I'm going to bring this foot to the hip and I'm going to get to my side. This leg is going to stay straight. I'm not bending it. Nice and straight, foot flexed. I'm going to push at the hip, same kind of idea as the tripod. I'm going to pull and I'm going to swipe. Now I'm going to come up into a little bit of a different position here. I can still pass. This is almost like a switched knee slide, right? So my foot and knee are opposite. They were when I came up for the tripod for the knee cut. So what I can do here is I need to be really careful that I don't let him come around my arm, right? Because he can start taking my back. So I want to start searching for that underhook, and I can start pushing this knee down, and I can come over for the pass. Okay? I can also, if I'm back here, I can also retract my leg if I need to, right? I can come in and staple and start sliding through. Different variations, obviously, but I want to come up and be able to control. So that's the great option, sickle sweep. My husband Jay was showing that a lot recently, and it's one that I tend to kind of forget about. I love the tripod, but the sickle is a great option to be able to switch to. So I hope that helps, guys. Thanks so much. Thanks, Jake, for being my uke.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. See you guys soon. Bye.